My name is Meizela Luvita, or you can call me May in short. So, I'm from Group 4. We will talk about understand and review about nouns, verbs, and adjectives. So, what is in your mind when you heard nouns? A thing? Yes, the simplest definition of a noun is a thing. This can represent like a person, animal, place, idea, emotion, almost anything that you can think of. Nouns are the basic building blocks of sentences. Like dog, Sam, name of person, smartphones, laptop are all nouns. The more nouns you know in a language, the better you will be able to communicate your ideas. Here, we'll take a closer look at what makes a noun become a noun, and we'll provide some examples of how nouns are used. Now, let's see this sentence. The boy and girl were holding hands as they crossed the bridge on the way to town. Can you guess how many nouns are there in this sentence? Yep, there are 6 nouns. Boy, girl, hands, bridge, way, and town. Now, after you have known the definition of nouns, we have some categories of nouns. There are several categories of nouns, and there can be an overlap across the categories. For example, there are common and proper nouns, and concrete and abstract nouns. Yet, some nouns are both concrete and common, or concrete and proper. It will become clear as you watch this video. First, common nouns. Common nouns are the words that refer to most general things, like country, evening, puppy, umbrella. For example, the cup fell and broke. What is the noun? Cup. Yes, so I think like everyone here and everyone who watched this video know what is cup. So, cup is one of the common noun. Second, proper noun. So, proper nouns are names that identify someone or something, a person or a place. Proper nouns are usually capitalized. For example, John. John is the name of a person, and we will write it using capitalized in G. So, John is a proper noun. Let's see this sentence. Emily loved spending time with her aunt Nancy in Paris. Okay, so Emily, Aunt Nancy, and Paris are proper nouns. Next up is concrete nouns. Concrete nouns represent a thing that is real and tangible. It means that we can see it, we know the shape of it. For example, like a person, rock, and maybe like a cat, an animal. So we know the shape of it and we can see it and it's real. So let's see this sentence. The person threw the rock across the yard. There are 3 concrete nouns: person, rock, and yard. We can see it and we know that it's real, and of course we know the shape of it. Next, an abstract noun. An abstract noun represents a thing that is more like a concept or idea. For example, like love, integrity, friendship, beauty, knowledge are the examples of abstract nouns. Now, let's see this sentence. Your mind can know a million things. So, mind in here is an abstract noun because actually we don't know the shape of it or we don't know how it looks like. It's more like a concept or an idea of a word. Nouns can also be categorized as countable and uncountable. First, a countable noun.
A countable noun is a thing that can be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or counted. So we can count these things. For example, like chairs. We can see in this class and we can count how many chairs are there in this class. And then teachers, students, so we can count it. That's the countable noun. For example, let's see this sentence. There are 5 dogs in the street. What is the countable noun? Dogs. Yep, we can count dog in here. So there are 5 dogs. Next, uncountable noun. Uncountable noun is the vice versa of countable noun. Uncountable noun means we cannot count on it, but it still have a quantity or amount. But actually we cannot count it. For example, like water, we cannot count it, but there is the quantity of it. So let's see this sentence. Love is in the air. Love in here is uncountable noun because we cannot count love actually, but yet still there's the quantity. Next up, we have collective nouns. Collective nouns refer to a group of people or things, for example, like audience, team, family, class. When speaking of collective nouns, Americans consider them as singular, using singular verbs with them, such as the group dances happily. But when speaking British English, both singular verbs and plural verbs might be used. So, based on the percent. Now, let's see this example of sentence. The team threw confetti when it was over. There are 2 collective nouns in here. Team and confetti. Team and confetti is a group of something. So that's why they are become a collective nouns. Alright, so I think that's all the category of nouns.
Hello, my name is Salsabila Kurnia Ramadhani and my student number is 06011282227040.
Here, I want to tell you about forms of nouns. The same noun can appear in different forms depending on how it is used. A countable noun can be singular or plural. Most nouns in English form the plural by adding s or es to the noun. For example, 1 dog, 2 dogs. 2. I missed not just 1 bus today, but 2 buses. Accountable nouns and proper nouns are always considered to be singular. For example, the air in the countryside and in the city is clean and fresh. And all knowledge is a good thing. As you can see, the word air is not the airs, and the word knowledge is not knowledges. Nouns can also indicate ownership. This form of noun is called a possessive noun and is indicated by an apostrophe and the letter s. It is equivalent to using the word of any the noun. For example, 1. The light's color is red. The country's flag has blue stripes. The hunter's gun were loaded. As you can see, there are apostrophe and the letter s for indicate ownership. Remember, when the noun already ends with s, position is indicated by adding only an apostrophe. For example, like hunter's guns, not hunter's gun. A noun can be used as the subject of the sentence or in another capacity as an object. For example, John is nice. John is the subject of the sentence. I saw John. John is the simple object of the sentence. I gave John the phone. John is indirect object of the sentence. I gave the phone to John. John is the object of the preposition to. There is additional info about nouns. Sometimes nouns are used as adjectives, which is referred to as a noun adjunct.
For example, ocean view. Ocean describes the type of view you would see outside your window. Jazz concert. Jazz is specifying what kind of concert is being played. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dzakiyah Salsabila. My student number is 0601128227042. Okay, now I will tell you about verb. Verbs are the action word in a sentence that describe what the subject is doing. Verbs are the main part of sentence or phrase, telling a story about what is taking place. In fact, without the verbs, full thought can't be properly conveyed, and even the simple sentence, such as Maria sings, have one verb. Actually, a verb can be a sentence by itself, with the subject in most cases implied, such as sing and drive. When learning the rules of grammar, students are often taught that verbs are doing work, meaning they signify the part of the sentence which explain the action taking place. For example, he ran away. She eats chocolate cake on Sundays. How to recognize a verb? As you can see from the example before, one clue to help you recognize a verb is its location compared to the subject. Verb almost always come after a noun or pronoun. These nouns and pronouns are referred to as the subject. For example, Mark eats his dinner quickly. We went to the market. Here, some other ways to recognize a verb in sentence. If you are not sure if a word is a verb, ask yourself, can I do? Can I think? Can I wonder? Can I walk? Yes, so these are verbs. You can also ask, what is happening? In the sentence, Mark eats his dinner quickly. What is happening? Eating is happening. So, eating is the verb. In this sentence, they talk about all the price what is happening. Thought or thinking is happening. So, thought is the verb. Let's talk about physical verb. Physical verbs are action verbs. They describe specific physical action. If you can create a motion with your body or use a tool to complete an action, the word you use to describe it is most likely a physical verb. For example, Jack runs every morning. She swims in the pool. Even when the action is not very active, but if the action is done by the body or a tool, consider it is a physical verb. Next, mental verb. Mental verbs have meaning that are related to concepts such as discovering, understanding, thinking, or planning. In general, a mental verb refers to a cognitive state. State of being verbs. State of being verbs, also known as a linking verb. State of being verb describe conditions or situations that exist. State of being verb are indicative since no action is being performed. These verbs forms of to be, such as am, is, are, usually complemented by adjectives. For example, I'm a student. We are circus performers. Please is quiet. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much.
My name is Wulan Syepitri. My last student number is 043. Types of verb. There are many types of verb. In addition to the main categories of physical verb, mental verb, and state of being verb, there are several other types of verb. In fact, There are more than 10 different types of verb that are grouped together by function. List of all verb types. 1. Action verb. Action verb express specific action and are used anytime you want to show action or discuss someone doing something. It's important to remember that the action doesn't have to be physical. For example, I run faster than David. She thinks about poetry all day long. 2. Transitive verb. Transitive verb are action verbs that always express doable activities that relate or affect someone or something else. These other things are generally direct objects, nouns, and pronouns that are affected by the verb. So some verb can also take an indirect object such as show, take, and make. In a sentence with a transitive verb, someone or something receives the action of the verb. For example, Gary ate the cookies. The transitive verb is ate. Gary is the subject because it is Gary who is doing the eating, and the cookies are the direct object because it is the cookies that are being eaten. And 3. Intransitive verb. Intransitive verb are action verb that always express doable activities. They are different from transitive verb because there is no direct object following an intransitive verb. For example, we traveled to London. 4. Auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb are also known as helping verb and are used together with a main verb to show the verb tense or to form a question or negative. Common examples of auxiliary verb include have, might, and will. This auxiliary verb gives some context to the main verb, for example, letting the reader know when the action took place. For example, I will go home after football practice. And 5. Stative verb. Stative verb can be recognized because they express a state rather than an action. They typically relate to thoughts, emotion, relationships, senses, status of being, and measurements. The best way to think about stative verb is that they are verbs that describe things that are not action. The stative verbs are all expressing a state of doubting, a state of believing, and a state of wanting. The status of being are often temporary. For example, the doctor disagrees with your analysis. 6. Modal verbs. Modal verbs are auxiliary verbs that are used to express abilities, possibilities, permission, and obligations. For example, he can shoot a 3-point shoot easily. 7. Phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are not single words. Instead, they are combination of words that are used together to take on a different meaning to that of the original verb. There are many examples of phrasal verbs, some of which have colloquial meanings such as make up, hand in, bring up, point out, look forward to. Each time the verb takes the extra words, it takes on a new meaning. For example, make without the up express that something is being created, whereas with make up, the suggestion is that there are some lies or a fantastical element to the story and make out the mean either to grasp or see something difficult. For example, Mary looked forward to her high school reunion. The verb look has taken on forward to become a phrasal verb meaning to be excited about or eagerly await something. 8. Irregular verb. Irregular verbs are those that don't take on the regular spelling patterns of past simple and past participle verbs. Some of the most common irregular verbs include say, make, go, take, come, know, and see. For example, I take my time when I go to the shop. This is present tense. I took my time when I went to the shop. This is past tense. Example 2. Julie makes cake for the classroom. This is present tense. Julie made a cake for the classroom. This is past tense.
Hi, my name is Raden Maulana Wahyu Ahmaji and my student number is 060112822270044. And now we will explain about adjectives. What is an adjective? Adjectives are words that describe or modify other words, making your writing and speaking much more specific and a whole lot more interesting. Words like small, blue, and sharp are descriptive, and they are all examples of adjectives because adjectives are used to identify or quantify individual people and unique things. They are usually positioned before the noun or the pronoun that they modify. Some sentences contain multiple adjectives. And here, the examples of adjective. In the following examples, the highlight words are adjectives. Since it's a hot day, Lisa is wearing a sleeveless. The mountaintops are covered in sparkling. On her birthday, Brenda received an antique filled with fragments. And types of adjectives. Remember that adjectives can modify as well as describe other words, and you will find it much easier to identify different types of adjectives when you see them. Articles. There are only 3 articles, and all of them are adjectives, a, an, and the, because they are used to discuss specific things and people. A and an are called indefinite articles. For example, I'd like let's go on. Neither one of these sentences names a specific banana or certain adventure. Without more clarification, any banana or adventure will do. The word the is called the definite article. It is the only definite article, and it's used to indicate very specific people or things. Please give me a banana. I'd like the one with the green stem. Let's go on an adventure. The Grand Canyon move right sounds perfect. Possessive adjectives. As the name indicates, possessive adjectives are used to indicate possession. They are my, my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. Possessive adjectives also function as possessive pronouns. Demonstrative adjectives. Like the article the, demonstrative adjectives are used to indicate or demonstrate specific people, animals, or things. These, those, and these. And there are demonstrative adjectives. These books belong on that. This movie is my favorite. Please put those cookies on the blue plate. Next, coordinate adjectives. Coordinate adjectives are separated with commas or the word and appear one after another modified as the same noun. The adjectives in the phrase bright, sunny day, and long and dark night are coordinate adjectives. In phrases with more than 2 coordinate adjectives, the word and always appears before the last one. For example, the sign had big, bold, and bright letters. Be careful because some adjectives that appear in the series are not coordinate. In the phrase green delivery truck, the words green and delivery are not separated by comma because green modifies the phrase delivery truck. To eliminate confusion that when determining whether a pair or group of adjective is coordinate, just insert the words in between them. If any words then adjective are coordinate and need to be separated with a comma.
Hello, my name is Harta Mutiara. My last student number is 045. Numbers adjectives. When they are used in sentences, numbers are almost always adjective. You can tell that a number is an adjective when it answers the question, how many? For example, the stagecoach was pulled by a team of 6. 6 is a number adjective. Another example, he ate 23 hot dogs during the contest and was sick afterwards. 23 is a number adjectives. Interrogative adjectives. There are 3 interrogative adjectives, which, what, and whose. Like other types of adjective, interrogative adjective modify nouns. As you probably know, all 3 of these words are used to ask questions. For example, first, which option sounds best to you? Which is an interrogative adjective. I'll give you another example of interrogative adjective. These are another example. Indefinite adjectives. Like the article a and an, indefinite adjectives are used to discuss non-specific things. You might recognize them since they are formed from indefinite pronouns. The most common indefinite adjectives are any, many, no, several, and few. For example, do we have any peanut butter? Any is indefinite adjectives. Describe peanut butter. Another example, these are fewer coins in circulation. Fewer is indefinite adjectives. Describe coins. Last is attributive adjectives. Attributive adjectives talk about specific traits, qualities, or features. In other words, they are used to discuss attributes. There are different kinds of attributive adjectives. First, observation adjectives, such as real, perfect, best, interesting, beautiful, or cheapest can indicate value or talk about subjective measures. Second is size and shape adjectives. Talk about measurable, objective qualities including specific physical properties. Some examples include small, large, square, round, poor, wealthy, slow, and other. And 3 is age adjective, denote specific ages in number as well as general ages. Example are old, young, new, 5 years old, and others. And 4 is color adjective, are exactly what they sound like. They are adjectives that indicate color. Example include pink, yellow, blue, black, and another. And 5 is origin adjective, indicate the source of noun, whether it is person, place, animal, or things. Example include American, Canadian, Mexican, Indonesian, and others. 6 is material adjectives, denote what something is made of. Some examples include cotton, gold, wool, and other. And the last is qualifier adjectives, are often regarded as part of noun. They make nouns more specific. Example include look cabin, luxury car, and pillow cover, and others. Okay, I'll give you example of attributive or order adjectives. This is the example of attributive adjective. It is my favorite big old square blue Italian wall doormat. Favorite is opinion adjectives or observation adjective. And then big is size adjective. And old is age adjective. Square is shape adjective.
Blue is color adjective. Italian is origin adjective. Wall is material adjective. Doormat is what it is used for, or qualifier adjectives.